Hi there, in this video I'm gonna talk a bit about climbing in Cyberpunk 2077. I'm gonna show you something as well, since it had become one of my favorite things to do in this game. I also am very new at shooting videos with my actual voice. I'm usually doing text boxes, so please forgive me my dry delivery and strong accent. I'm working on it, and yeah, let's see how it turns out. And I'm commenting this video also while reviewing it for the first time myself. Pretty much all props in this game, like these ventilation units, are climbable. So when you jump on them, we will just climb. That's a very, very practical feature. Almost as if CDPR intended people to climb up buildings. Like this, like I do right now. Even if the areas you'll find are not what I would consider done. It sometimes looks really weird. Especially when you find unfinished areas, which is going to happen in this video. And you'll always see flickering textures, gaps and stuff. For example, when you go up here, the animations bug out and you have visible seams and gaps. But I like the view, and the view was also the main reason I started climbing in the beginning. Also on PC there are currently no clip cheats, but not on console. This was recorded on PC, by the way, but I still play with the controller because I find it a lot easier to control the movements. So everything I do here is very, very doable on every console as well. But I tried it on PlayStation 4 Pro, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the FPS, or I don't know, the stability of the game, but the climbing felt different. It felt harder to do, essentially. So be sure that you take this with a grain of salt if you're playing on a console. Quite often you will also run into those weird edges that I just ran into now, that will make you enter a fall state, damages you and freezes you in place. That also happens in very weird places like this one that I'm trying to climb right now, with a simple step back jump, which I found almost impossible to do on mouse and keyboard. Now you see it. I dropped and I'm basically in the air, so I can kind of save myself with a jump again. Yeah, but mastering those climbs is basically the essence of climbing in this game. With this one I'm struggling a bit, so later on I'll have some that I do a lot more fluid. Finally on roof. I'm gonna do a Kolesnikov jump to get to the other side. Pretty well known trick in the community. You essentially do it by aiming and then dodging front and jumping at the same time. You actually only need two implants for climbing. It's the double jump and the Kolesnikov. And with those you can get everywhere. Well, almost. But I tried it with other implants, for example the thrusters and the high jump, but those don't work nearly as well. I sped it up here because that was quite a long section. I was just exploring those buildings here. And sorry again about my delivery of speech, because English isn't my main language. It looks like something was supposed to be there, but they didn't do it for, I don't know for what reason. And it will quite often happen that you run into dead ends, like the one I'm about to run into now. You can see quite well when you look around that there's nothing higher above that I could jump onto. And there are also a lot of places in the game where you will plain fall through walls. You can see it there in front. The building has a lower resolution. That means it doesn't have collision. Here I was basically looking for different targets, like that Encart station, or something very interesting I saw over there. Looks like a small garden or something, so that's where I'm gonna head to next. And always look around for a way to get there. Like this nice train track over there, and I could use those buildings to get on the train track. At least that was the idea. Sometimes you make a plan and it doesn't work because something is missing. One particular type of windows is missing, or you can't find a bridge between buildings, and that's where you start getting issues with climbing. I would advise though to wear clothes with fall damage reduction, and maybe also get implants that have it. I'm actually not very sure if there's cyberware that gives you a fall damage reduction, but in the loading screen tips it says there are, so I don't know. Never found them. We will go again for a nice window jumping area. Same trick on the window, sneaky cut here because I failed horribly for about 5 times. You'll see the blood stain on the ground later, but I don't get discouraged by that, although it happens often. So very, very big advice is to save as often as you can, which I forgot in this case. But I have to admit that I'm a little bit too secure about my climbing. Oftentimes I just fail because the game fucks me over, and I guess I also often forgot to save. There will be, of course, autosaves when climbing, as the game always does autosaves. Don't rely on them. I at least try not to. Here I'm pretty much deciding if I go left or right. I wanted to go left to find out what those trees are, so I did. Here I sped it up again. Found that nice little end card station on the right. I already tried it before, because I fell down once and didn't save the footage. And it's not even modeled out, so you will fall through the ground and die when you jump on it. Yeah, finally there. Seems we are at the Night City Center of Behavioral Health, which, I don't know, it makes sense with the trees, and it looks like this area was a bit further in development when they tried to make it, but they abandoned it probably because they lack time in development or something. Because the doors work, the vending machines, they all work, you have sounds in here. The lighting is pretty sophisticated. This is RTX off, by the way, as I'm on PC. But I usually also like to take some photos, photo mode, when I'm climbing. Yeah, I liked it here. It was kind of cool finding stuff like this, and I hope I'll find more in the future. This was pretty much the only place that I found so far that was supposed to be something, but wasn't in the end. You might have noticed that train that just passed. I couldn't find a timing on them. It was super random. Twice I got rolled over by them, and then for at least 5 minutes no train came. So I don't know how they work. Maybe there's a timing on them, maybe they just spawn randomly like NPCs or something. But they are annoying as hell if you're trying to climb those train tracks or use them as a highway for climbing, for finding climbing opportunities. Here I got bugged because I tried to jump over that missing floor panel that some developer, quote-unquote, forgot. And when I fell through that the first time I was here, I imagined some developer from CDPR laughing viciously. Then again, you have music here, which is also sort of a giveaway that they tried something. Enjoying the view a bit. Let's see what we'll find later on. Bohemia might have been a collab like the Totentanz or the Afterlife, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll see, or not maybe, I just hope we'll see a couple of free content updates in the future once most of the bugs are taken care of. Something like upper levels of Night City or roofs of Night City or something where you can explore those areas, balconies and stuff. We have those pathways. Currently they lead into no direction. Nice coincidence that this train just come in. I would have walked, but now I've got a taxi. So let's take the taxi. Speeding it up again. And then, yeah, the unthinkable happens. We have an invisible wall. I was very confused and tried to get around it, but this one was a big one. And usually the objects, the space walls in this game are not as extensive as in other games, for I don't know what reason, so you can simply go around it actually. I would always try to go around space walls if I encounter them, because it seems they are placed in a very weird way. Sometimes there are random space walls in the middle of nowhere and you can actually use them to jump off something by accident, like you will see in a few seconds. There I'm looking for a way up, and I found those nice windows that always work. And you'll notice I jump off the edge and I will land on something in the air. Right there. That was a space wall as well. And this window jump works again on these. These are the best windows. They use those a lot. And they are perfect for climbing. I'll just climb up there. And quickly notice that this is a dead end, but I need to go up further. Eventually also try it on those windows, but they also don't work, so I skip a bit. And these work perfectly. Quickly saving here. And I find a nice bridge that's enterable, obviously. Been climbing on those buildings for a while, trying to get on the roof, but it was impossible at that time for me, because I couldn't get over those ledges you see up there. And there you have it, a building in very low resolution, so you can't climb on that one. Kinda sucks, because that would have been the perfect building to get on top of the higher bridge. Yeah, sadly you're gonna run across those buildings that are not enterable or climbable quite often. Loaded a save game here because I fell and tried to climb this building on the right a few times without success. This footbridge is also not enterable, very low resolution. So thinking about climbing the left building and maybe go further from there. And I already see those nice windows there on the right. So climbing up and utilizing them as they have probably not been intended by CDPR. And again, very, very small space for mistakes here. When you fall, you either die or you're gonna lose some progress. And here I found a way up actually, because this this ledge over there is quite small on the edges. And I hope to find something nice up there. If not a view, then I don't know what. I love photo mode in this game, as many people do. Here you can see clearly the footbridge is not enterable. They are dropping inside. The one below is also not enterable, so quite impossible to get on the other side of this building. Cut again, and now I want to go up there. Problem is it's too far for a Kresnikov jump. So I think I might go down there on this roof, on one of those. But after trying a bit, I decided that it was impossible to climb those, because the walls were very, very weirdly angled and impossible to climb. And instead went down here. So I figure I could also climb down there and try that. So I did. What you will notice is that often on those, on some spaces you'll have head bob when you sprint. And here you don't. I don't know why, maybe it has something to do with how the ground is classified. If you sprint on the ground, you definitely have head bob. And I guess for some of those buildings they have never added a floor property or something in development. So that the animation for the head bob isn't played. Just a little detail, but I kinda like those. Trying not to fall down here. Perfect example for one of the biggest falling hazards, glitching on edges, which happens very often in this game. Speeding up again. Yeah, in the beginning it happened really often to me that I even did that on, I don't know, a sidewalk or something. Yeah, here you gotta be careful on the left. This thing is also not enterable, so you'll fall down below the map. And this building still gives me PTSD. It is so horrible. The balconies are angled in a weird way, so you can step on them, but at the same time they're seen as climbable objects. So you can just jump up and then press climb button or jump button to pull yourself up. But they are glitchy as hell. Somewhere here I decided that I'm gonna save, because this happened to me. And you might as well get launched down and die from impact force. So that's not something you want after this long of a climb, to just die. I skipped about 5 minutes of video and then this happened. Might also happen that you just get launched away to the side. And then the final crucial attempt that worked. And at this point I was pretty frustrated, because I was already trying to climb this for half an hour or something, and all the time I died. I even tried to go over to the middle of the building, because there are no balconies, there are windows, and windows are usually easier to climb in this angle. But those are the type of windows that will kill you when you touch them. And that's very frustrating. So I initially wanted to get over there on the other side and move to the right, and then I stepped on one of those windows that kill you instantly. And that was it for me. So yeah, thanks. See you guys.